Get 1% better every day in everything you are doing. What if I told you that the difference between the life you have right now and the life you've always dreamed of comes down to something so small, so quiet, so easy to dismiss, that most people laugh at it the first time they hear it? 1%, not 10%, not 50, not some dramatic overnight transformation. Just 1%. Now, before you click away thinking, Eugene, that sounds like motivational fluff, I need you to stay with me. Because what I'm about to show you isn't just theory. It's mathematics. It's neuroscience. It's the quiet secret behind some of the most jaw-dropping success stories in human history. And by the end of this video, you won't just understand the 1% principle, you'll feel it in your bones. You'll never look at a single day the same way again. Let me take you back to 2003. British cycling, one of the most embarrassing sports programs on the planet at the time. For 96 years, almost a century, British cyclists had won almost nothing. They were so bad that their equipment suppliers refused to sell them bikes. They didn't want to be associated with failure. Then a man named Dave Brailsford walked in. He didn't overhaul everything overnight. He didn't fire the whole team and start fresh. He didn't even promise championships. He just asked one question. What if we got 1% better at everything? They improved the seats. Slightly. They changed the massage gel used for muscle recovery. A little bit. They experimented with what pillows the riders slept on in hotel rooms. They tested hand-washing techniques to prevent colds. 1%, 1%, 1%. 5 years later, in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, British cycling won 60% of the gold medals available. For years after that, in London 2012, they shattered 9 Olympic records and 7 world records in a single week. And then their star rider, Bradley Wiggins, became the first British man in history to win the Tour de France. The margin between ordinary and extraordinary was never what you think. It was never a massive, dramatic leap. It was hundreds of tiny, almost invisible improvements, stacked, compounded, and allowed to breathe. Now let me show you why this isn't just a nice story. Let me show you the numbers. If you get 1% better every single day for a year, just 1%, do you know what happens? You end up 37 times better by the end of the year. 37x. Not 1.37x. Not 3.7x. 37 times. That's the power of compounding. That's what Albert Einstein allegedly called the eighth wonder of the world, and it doesn't just apply to money. It applies to skill, to strength, to knowledge, to relationships, to every single area of your life. Now flip it. What if you got 1% worse every day? You'd decline to nearly zero. 0.03 of what you once were.